Aloha gang and welcome to Missing Mondays. A little later than normal. However, I'll kind of give you a little inkling as to what went on with that one. Unfortunately, the case I was planning on covering, there was some bad news that I came across in the middle of pulling everything together. So based off of that, there was a case that I've been really wanting to cover, and that's Alena's case, Gracie's case. And I know Sleuth Mom did a great job of that, covering it yesterday, I think it was. And but there's still a lot to talk about with this case. And more so, sorry, puppy is barking like crazy. And I'm kind of a little concerned with this case, not just because of the one missing person, but I'm a little nervous that it's leading to some other possibilities out there that we need to discuss and need to start being brought to the forefront. So pull up your seats, pull up a drink. I got me a Diet Coke right now, or Coke Zero. Grab whatever you want. I'm giving the dog a treat, and I'll be right back.
Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life.
Hey, gang. So, first of all, thank y'all for popping up. And yes, Cassie, would you like to go say hi to everyone? Say hi. Now get going. Good girl. I almost called her a boy. Yep. What else is new? And also, so how is everyone doing? We had PJ popping up into chat early. I got to say hi to her before I got to go live. Then let's see who else we got. We got Amber. Hey, Amber, how you doing, girl? And I saw you posted, so you sent a message a little while ago, but I haven't gotten to read it yet. I'm bad. I'm a bad girl. So, but hello, my dear. And there is Tim and very loud Dougie's behind me. And Sleuth Mom. Okay, as I mentioned, Sleuth covered, you did. Oh my gosh. Okay, you talked I was hoping you had gotten in touch with them, but ever since I heard, watched your replay, this one has been on my mind like crazy. And when, unfortunately, the person I was going to cover, in fact, I'll go ahead and mention that one right now. Benny went missing a couple weeks ago. And here, let me try to do this real quick so you guys can see everything of his. Okay, there you go. Benny Corbett went missing. And I was going to cover Benny tonight. He went missing after being a man in a hoodie, came to a hotel room that Benny and his girlfriend was in, and went with this guy to the gas station. So it really did not have a good feeling to it, but they had not found him at that time. Unfortunately, while I was about 45 minutes before I went live, maybe an hour before I went live, the word came across that they had found his body. And also I did want to let his family know, let anyone who is a friend of his, our thoughts and prayers are with you. I know he was becoming a dad for the first time, and that's actually what really caught my eye when I first saw his story, was that he was becoming a daddy for the first time. And now there's a little one who's never going to know their dad. So our thoughts and our prayers are with everyone in Benny's family and all. So going with everyone else, but Sleuth, you had mentioned, I still wanted to go on with the Missing Monday subject for tonight, and I wasn't sure what to do. KK, it just, by the way, hi, KK. I've been, when you're doing research for these things, you keep pulling up articles over and over and over, and you keep checking Facebook for any new updates. And I hit refresh, and all of a sudden there was a new update right there. And also, sad ending to that story. But let's see, Seal is here. This case, though, as I was saying, Sleuth Mom started covering this, and it looks like Sleuth was able to get in touch with the family. This one is scary, gang. Not only is this a missing child that we're talking about, this child, for anyone who did not see it covered before, let me bring her stuff up here. This child actually went missing, lured in my eyes. Okay, I think she was truly lured away from her home. Sounds a lot like the teenager I was, kind of quiet, homebody, would play games, okay, do things like that. Sounds like she got in touch with the wrong people on her PlayStation while playing games. And from there was lured away. She left sometime between, I think it was 12:30 and 5 in the morning on September 22nd. Her sister was the one who realized she had gone missing around 7 a.m. It's like, hey, where is Gracie? And no one knew where Gracie was. They went looking around. She wasn't there. So they've been able to get it down. And yeah, Sleuth Mom is saying right now, 95% chance she was lured at this point. Why are we looking at that? Well, in addition to a lot of the things being said, she had left a note. There's a new news story I'm going to play in a second, saying that she was going with this unidentified woman. And that's scary. Okay, this unidentified woman ran a thing for runaways and she was going to be safe and all that. Sorry, runaways and safe don't go along hand in hand to begin with. Okay, second of all, anyone who truly cares about children or teenagers would never be like, well, tell everyone not to ever look for you ever again. That's a problem, because most people who care about teenagers or children and all that want what's best. And if that means going back to the family, or if they get back together at some point, they would not be doing stuff like that. So she had left a note saying she was doing that. And then, as we'll come across to discover, she took quite a few high important, possessions with her. Her PlayStation, her phone, her birth certificate, her social security card. Why? Why and who would ask a child, a 15-year-old child, to bring that type of paperwork? Okay, there's many reasons. Okay, we can go on to the assumption train. None of them are good. Okay, she has now been gone. Okay, September 22nd. Today is October 3rd. She's been gone over 10 days. Okay, there's been nothing from her. Her family is pushing this case. Okay, you see families that truly, all they live, when their loved one goes missing, all that matters is that loved one. And that's what you see in this case. They are out there, they're setting up search parties, they're doing flyers. They're quite regularly meeting at the local Albertsons and handing out flyers. Sleuth is saying they are exhausted, and I bet because they are the only ones doing this. Yes, there are police involved. Polyclass, Foundation is involved. But this is their life right now. And this is where we all need to step in, because yes, can we help hand out flyers? No. Not in the normal way that we normally would. Standing at a door, here you go. Have you heard about Gracie? Have you ever seen Gracie's picture? No. But we could hit Instagram, Twitter, all those places and do the same exact thing there. Because after so long has gone by, and with where they live and things like that, Mexico is very close by. Okay, we all know how, I'm sorry, and I always hate talking about these things, because there are things none of us want to think about, but trust me, every parent has thought about it already. Okay, there's trafficking potentials out there. There's so many things. And this is when we stand up for the children that are out there, okay, because whether they are termed a runaway or whatever, it does not matter. It's like that case I was also going to cover today. It looked like it was going to have a bad ending, but it does not matter. Because we have to see everything through. We have to do everything within our power to bring them home. And so we need to help in getting this out. And Sleuth Mom's doing an amazing job right now. Her first story about it yesterday was just amazing. And I can't wait to hear what the family has to say. And let me pull this up to start with. This is a new, one of the biggest things with any case like this, as you guys know, is you need PR. You need that. Okay, yes, a lot of times police will tell families now, don't say this, don't go posting pictures or whatever. And I think to some degree they do that because they have seen how people on the internet go overboard and they don't have the right thought and right heart behind why they're doing it. Okay, they have to deal with the trolls who start calling in bogus hints, things like that. But there are all of us who are really, we care and we're here to help tell those stories. Okay, realize it is extremely important for a person to be able to understand the child we're talking about. Like I said, the more I read about Gracie, it reminded me of many times that I was a teenager. I was the one who would come home from school and get on the computer or whatever. Okay, it's just, and that clicks something in you where you push yourself even further to get the word out to people. And that's what we need to do. We need people to see her for who she is. She's not just a picture, like I say over and over. These are not just pictures. They're human beings with mom, dad, siblings, grandparents, aunties, uncles, all those things. And those are the parts that we don't get to see. And those are the things that matter. Those are the connections that matter. So this story, the family was trying really hard to get the story out. They were every day, updates. And we're going to go through some of those updates here. But I wanted to start with this. This was done on the local NBC channel. And just actually fairly recently. So let me see. Hopefully I got it all set up correctly. Let me know if it's not.
A Spring Valley family is desperately searching for their teenage daughter. She left a goodbye note at her parents' house before leaving unexpectedly in the middle of the night just last week. NBC7's Amber Frias tells us why the parents are concerned she may have been lured away.
This is 15-year-old Alena Mitchem. She's been missing for 9 days now. As you can imagine, her family is desperate for answers. They're sharing their story with us tonight in hopes that somebody out there saw her or knows something and will come forward. Just over a week ago, 15-year-old Alena Gracie Mitchem walked out of her family home in the middle of the night and disappeared.
At 7 o'clock, her sister came out of the room and said, "Hey, Mom, where's Gracie?" And we went, "What are you talking about?" And that's when we searched the home and we found her not to be found anywhere. She talked to anybody online.
No one has seen or heard from the teen since, leaving her family desperate for answers.
She's a very shy, timid girl. She wouldn't just take off.
The Mitchems say their daughter took several personal items with her, including her cell phone, laptop, PlayStation console, social security card, and birth certificate. They fear this may have been a suggestion by someone she met through online gaming.
I fully believe someone has convinced her to take those items, somebody who is older. She's been befriended and instructed her to take all these items.
After she went missing, the Mitchems also located a goodbye note from the teen. In the note, she writes she would be getting picked up by an unidentified woman.
I don't know if there's...
She did not say where she was going and asked that they not go looking for her.
That concerns me. No adult's going to come to your home and take you to a place for runaways.
Alena is 5 feet 4 inches and 160 pounds. She has faded green hair and hazel eyes. Her parents believe she might be wearing the bucket hat she has on here. With the passing of every day, the Mitchems say they grow more desperate.
Somebody's seen my little girl somewhere. Somebody knows where she's at.
But together, they're staying strong, searching every day, hoping to find her.
We love you, honey. We're not mad. We just want you home safe.
We won't stop looking for you, ever.
Amber Frias, NBC7.
The Mitchems are hoping people in the community will help them pass out missing flyers. If you would like to help.
Okay. Sorry, let me get that real quick. Stop there. Okay. Stopped it there mainly because of the fact that that was from the other day, so they won't be passing out flyers as mentioned there, but I almost guarantee you, knowing what I have seen so far, they will be back there passing them out. Okay, I know they did it on the 1st, which was just the other day. So first of all, thank you, Amber, for letting me know. I forgot to plug these things in, so I was picking up the echo. So, gang, this worries me. We keep talking over and over about how the internet, we just did that whole internet safety video talking about people and how to provide safety for your children. And as parents, there's only so much you can do. You can be as educated as you want to, but like most of us know, all it takes is a couple seconds, and then things can go wrong very quickly. And that's when the community needs to pick up and help move forward. And so what I wanted to do today is, even though I know Sleuth did an amazing job with this, I want to tell you guys her story again. And I do want to talk about things here because I'm very concerned that this may not just be Gracie we're talking about. This seems very well coordinated, whatever happened here. Extremely well coordinated in my eyes. And you guys know me, I'm not one to jump into assumptions and all. But this assumption that's going through my head needs to be spoken if it is true. Because if there are people who are going out there luring teenagers away who are having a rough time in their life, and they're luring them away and telling them to do things such as bring your I'm looking at a video, bring your social security card, bring your birth certificate. Okay, all those things will keep you safe. Okay, there's a problem that needs to be looked into here because this could be a hell of a lot more than just Gracie. Now, Gracie is the story we're telling here, and we're going to share her picture out and all that, but we need to get this out, and it needs to be taken seriously by law enforcement at this point. So, yeah, and that's what got me, KK, is birth certificate, social security card. Why? I know listening to Sleuth's channel, the people were throwing out ideas and people were like, oh, is it to sell identity information to people? Is it to help supposedly build up emancipation? Is it all these different things that it could be? And that is the stuff law enforcement needs to be looking into. Okay, because that's not normally a 15-year-old's way of thinking. If a 15-year-old is thinking about running away, they're not going to think normally about, oh, I need to take my birth certificate, my social security card. They're not going to think those things. And that's it. Exactly, Seal. There's so many possibilities. And none of them are good, gang. None of them are good. We need to speak up and we need to get her story out. Because maybe in finding her, they could put a stop to whoever is doing this. Maybe just by luck, I hate using that word luck, but Gracie's one of the first that they're doing this with. And it needs to be stopped now before it goes any further, is what I'm trying to get at. And so Gracie, okay, I've got a lot of the information. The posters will be out there for everyone to show and to share out and all that. As I mentioned, the Poly Class Foundation has also picked this up. So if anyone has any information on Gracie, or even, gang, those of you who have teenagers, kids who play on gaming systems, I play on gaming systems all the time, talk to your kids. Tell them about this. Who's to know that someone out there right now, it may not be connected directly with Gracie, but you may talk to your child and that child says, oh yeah, someone was mentioning that they have a place for runaway children. And that opens up a door where law enforcement can start looking. And because we need our children to speak up if they see things. And because there are some kids out there who will look and they will grab onto things because we were all in that position where we were teens and we look at ourselves and we see all these negative things about ourselves. That's what teenager years are about. It seems like that's all we ever see is the negative about ourselves back then. But that goes away. And we learn skills to deal with all those emotions. And the problem is by then, it's too late for some of these kids because they have actually run away or things like that and put themselves in very, very dangerous positions. So as I mentioned, this family has been working tirelessly to get the word out about her. They have been trying to get news stories to cover her story. They've been trying to get posters out, all sorts of things. One of the things before I go any further, because I really want it just in case, okay, Gracie sees this video. I don't want to wait and put this at the ending. I wanted this to get out. This was her auntie, okay, her family, her ohana, as we say out here, who wrote a message to her on the 23rd. Now, remember, she went missing on the 22nd. So the next day, she did what so many of us probably would have done. I would have done the same thing with my nieces. Wrote them a letter just hoping that she sees this. And in it, she said, Gracie, baby girl, please let someone know you are okay. I know being a teen, sorry, let me make this a little bigger. I know being a teen can be tough and nothing seems right at times, and it's perfectly normal to feel that way. One thing I know for a fact is you are loved by many. We are all worried sick. There's so many ways to de-stress your teenage mind in a safe manner. Leaving us blindsided in the middle of the night isn't the safest nor smartest way. You are a smart young lady, so please reach out to us, please. There's so many dangers in this world, and I don't even want to imagine what could happen to you out there with strangers who really don't have your best interest in mind. I beg you, reach out to your parents or your sisters, hell, even me. Auntie loves you, baby girl. Yes, I'm several hundred miles away, but I know I will come to get you if you just tell me where you are. I have to make sure you are safe. We all want you back safe and sound. Please reach out. Please, I beg you, and remember, I love you. Many of us out there have nieces. I've got 3, all living on the mainland. And I know the feeling here. It's when one of my nieces moved out to New York City, it was the biggest fear of my life because I know what can happen and stuff like that. And they have to live their own life and start making decisions for themselves and stuff like that. But it's scary. And just like she said, I would in a half a second pick up, catch a plane, and go fly out for any of those 3 girls in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. So I don't know if she's able to watch right now, but if she is and sees her auntie's message, please call them. Let them know you're safe. Because no matter how hard things get, and we all fight with our family. I live with my mom. I caregive for my mom. And she and I scream and yell at each other. Okay, oh my God, it gets bad at times. But I adore her more than anything in the world, and I'd be there for her in a heartbeat. So please let them know if you're okay and you're able to. And so, as I mentioned, this is a longer story with a lot of different things that have been happening. Okay, what I found is the family did an amazing job telling the story. Okay, Gracie's mom was amazing at helping us to understand what happened to her daughter. Okay, she's been a voice for her. So I wanted to share some of the messages she's been sharing out on Facebook with people. The first one came out, and I'm going to read the bottom portion of it first, and then we can go ahead and check the rest of it. Let me real quickly, here we go. Of course, these little things show up where I can't see them, but that's life. Okay. I didn't want to have to post this. It makes it more of a reality. Our daughter Gracie has been missing for over 24 hours. She walked out in the middle of the night, took her electronic device and cell phone. We were not fighting. She wasn't in trouble. She was doing well in school. I hear she separate from this, I hear straight A's. She was excited about getting her learner's permit. She was upset we wouldn't let her get a job yet. We all remember that time. And we had typical arguments about chores. She's a good kid, and this is not like her. The cops are treating her like any other runaway. And this is what, I'm sorry, let me make sure I know where I left off. Gang, we keep saying this over and over and over. Not every person over a certain age is a runaway. We got to get past that. And even if they are a runaway, doesn't frickin' matter. When we have trafficking and stuff like that, we know runaways are at a higher risk of danger. So this excuse that, well, we can't look at this if they're a runaway, whatever. Okay, families know their family member. They know these people. They know what is normal and what is not normal. And they are screaming from the rooftops right now, her family saying, this is not normal. Would you just believe us? She left a note talking about how she loves us, but she wanted freedom, and we wouldn't let her get a job, so she went to a place for runaways. She stated a woman was picking her up. This terrifies me. Oh, hell, this would terrify anyone. An unidentified woman has picked up your child. Okay. I have, let's see, she is 15 and we live 20 minutes from the Mexico border. And any place for runaways won't come, I agree, they're not going to come pick you up at your house and they contact the parent and authorities. Okay, they are going to tell authorities, hey, so-and-so, if it is on the up and up, if a child who's underage has contacted them, they are going to let people know. Okay, because their idea is doing what is best for the child. I have called all youth shelters and they have had no new intakes. The police have not contacted me since the initial report. Now, this was the next day or the day of. They told me someone would contact me to follow up in a couple days. There you go. They think just because it's a teenager, give them a couple days. Well, we all know how important the first 48 hours are. We don't have time for days when there's the possibility something has happened to someone. Since she is not on psych meds or an immediate threat to herself, she is not considered high risk, and her name is only placed in a database as a missing person. They can't even tell me what the next steps are. That freaks me out, pisses me off even more. The one thing law enforcement should be able to do is say, okay, you've put this in. Unfortunately, because of laws or whatever, we can't do this, this, or this. However, at the point this kicks in, this is what we will start doing. Okay, there should be no, I understand regulations. I work in long-term care. Used to be the most regulated occupation, career area out there. Okay, I understand that. But that doesn't mean that I could not have told them. I know, and I'm sure law enforcement knows what the procedures are. What will they do when day 2 happens? They know those things. Share it with the family. It's not a lot to ask. As a mother, I know something is wrong. Her phone has not been turned on. She has had no social media activity. She would have called us by now. We are a close family. We do everything together. She is also skittish, not confident around people she doesn't know, and would not be by herself in a shelter surrounded by strangers. This sounds like a family who knows their daughter. They know her daughter. They need to be listened to. She just started a new school and has not made a lot of friends. Something is wrong. As a mother, I can tell this is just off. She would have called by now. Okay, gang. Just listening to those words. She's doing everything in her ability not to criticize law enforcement or anything. She's just saying, please help us. Please help us. Okay, I know how important it is for us to be looking. So then what happened on the 29th? There was an update. There was actually let me go. Okay, here. Let me go to something else and then we will come back to that update. So let me share one more screen share with you guys. Sorry, this next one was a little too big to do on a screen share, so I had to do it this way. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So this was September 26th. And her mom did an update on the 26th and mentioned update. As of now, Gracie is still missing. So 22nd, 26th, 4 days. Okay. Her phone has not turned on in that whole time. She has not contacted any family. The police have finally contacted us after 96 hours. 96 hours. When we watch TV, we read all the reports about how important those first couple hours are. Now we're at 96 hours. We are still working with a nonprofit agency called the RAD Movement. Within 30 minutes of contacting them, they had the high school district unlock her school laptop and download all and share all information. Why is it taking other outside groups to do this stuff? Do we have to start having private organizations to protect our children? RAD was amazing with this. Yeah, I agree, Sleuth. They are amazing with everything I've read here. And you guys know me. I am a staunch supporter of law enforcement. They work their butt off. They give up. They give up so much. Their families give up so much. But like any group of people, you have positive and negatives. Okay, I used to get upset when people considered all nursing homes the same because I was saying, oh no, that's not my nursing home. And it wasn't. But for every good, you have others that are not so good. And those are the chances when you have a failure in procedure or whatever, that's your opportunity as an organization to figure out what was going wrong and to correct it so it never happens again. And okay, back to this. They have come across numerous leads, but so far nothing is panning out. All local leads have been cleared as of now. They are treating Gracie as a lured abduction from the PlayStation gaming platform. They believe when I tell them this isn't her, and the note she left raised alarm. This is not your typical runaway. She has been lured by an adult. I found out after the initial report they convinced her to take her social security card and birth certificate. No regular runaway thinks to grab that info. I agree. Okay, an adult told her to get it. To be honest, at 15, I barely even knew I would need my social security card for a job. Okay, now, yes, she was looking at getting a job and all and probably would have known it just by research. But still, it's not something normal. Okay. The detective has ruled out the unknown girl named Janessa. They confirm she did drop her off at my house, and the vehicle in question has also been cleared. The RAD group are still leaning towards someone online, as the lady in the note is unknown. They are actively working on gaining access to all her social media accounts. They have ruled out all other local contacts thus far. Guys, my concern here, if this is a larger thing that's going on, why is it taking one separate organization? This should be involving FBI and stuff like that by now. Because who's to know how many other children may have been fallen prey to this? Same exact unknown woman. I was directed by the RAD movement to set her up with the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Why is it taking outside groups to tell them to do these things? Okay. Yeah, okay. They have made a flyer and set her up in the national database. I've also contacted the Polyclass Foundation to have flyers made, and they will start circulating tomorrow. Channel 10 has contacted me and got some details and said they would call me back, but so far nothing. I guess Gracie's disappearance isn't enough of a story. Media has to run a story which helps ratings. I have yet to contact other news agencies as we are just exhausted and can only do so much in a day. Gang, this is the thing. When I say this is their whole life, this is their whole life right now. This is their past. This is their present, and this is their future. It's not a story. This is something that needs to be told. People need to know she's out there and needs help. The police and detectives have her listed as just a runaway. Yet all other agencies feel this is suspicious. And I, as a mother, know deep down something is wrong. Gracie is shy, timid, and does not do things on her own volition. She has to be convinced things are safe. I found out today that she didn't hang out with a lot of people in school. She was virtually invisible. The only thing she complained about in the note was we wouldn't let her get a job. She wanted to help us out financially as we struggle with rent and bills. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. I told her not to worry. We were fine, and she was to focus on school. This child was not unhappy in the sense she wanted to leave her family. I fully believe someone convinced her that they could help her get a job. Why else would she take her birth certificate and social security card? Makes total sense, actually. She's 15. I'm asking for everyone's help in finding our daughter. Children are found by the extra work people put in, not the work of local police. If parents don't put in the footwork, their child will not be found. And this, unfortunately, is true. I do believe there's some amazing police out there who really help us find missing people. But most police will tell you it's important for community to help for extra labor. They can't be out there handing out flyers. They need people who feel connected and want to help and care to step up and help. Okay, let's see. My daughter doesn't even want to sleep in her room. Okay, we have been missing work, school, and are barely able to eat or sleep. My daughter doesn't even want to sleep in her room as she shared it with her sister. She has pulled her mattress into her brother's room and is sleeping on the floor. Alan can barely talk. His stuttering that he dealt with as a child is resurfacing due to his distress. I'm able to hold it together enough to search during the day, but I admit my wine intake is increasing every evening in hopes of sleep. We are all not okay. I never wanted to ask for help like this, but please, we need help finding Gracie. We need her picture out there. We need help in searching. We are struggling with finances, trying to cover travel and expenses for flyers. I've gone through 4 tanks of gas in 3 days. Gas in California is averaging $5.50 a gallon. I've never wanted to ask for help, but I am desperate now. Please, please, please share her photo. Get her out there. I have connections from here to West Virginia. If she is running on her own, she could be heading that way. We need eyes open everywhere. And that is why I tell people, we're all a community. It's not a laugh when you watch Disney and they talk about Ohana being family. We are all Ohana. We are all family, and we're all going to come together and we're going to speak up for someone who needs to be spoken up for. And there's the information Rad put out. Now, let's go back to the update that was given. So on 9/29, this was a few days later. And one sec, let me just make this bigger so I can read it. 1 week later, so they're at 1 week now, still no contact, still no activity. The police have ruled out all local leads. It's a week later, and we're now just getting to ruling out local leads. And if they had started earlier, 96 hours earlier, where could they may have been by now? They are now finally focusing on the internet, like I told them all along. They're only a week behind investigating that, though. She could be anywhere by now. Remember what she said about how close they are to Mexico? Someone befriended my kid and convinced her she would be safe. They instructed her to take her birth certificate and social security card. What 15-year-old does that? Please help us find her. The police still won't put her in the media. We every single frickin' day see comments about endangered children. Why isn't something being done here, gang? Is it going to take every one of us here on YouTube to yell and scream from the top of our voice that this child is endangered for people to realize that? Okay, because if that's what it's going to take, then yes, we will share out her picture everywhere. Because she deserves that. She deserves that respect. And I'm going to bang down the door today. It does take a village. Seal, it does. What you're saying there truly does. Okay, I mean, if you look at everything that they're doing here, I hate speaking this way about law enforcement. Those of you who know me well enough to know I hate this, because I understand how regulations can be. Doing what I do, I understand that side. But there are still things you can do within your own abilities, within the regulations. There are ways that you can make sure that you are giving someone the respect and the focus that they deserve. Okay, a family should not have to be going through all this. Their job right now should be holding their family together. Their job right now should be being able to deal with these siblings that probably need their support. And I'm sure they're doing that. But if they weren't having to do all this extra stuff on top of it, think about what else they could be doing. Okay, I think it's important. We need to start sharing things. There's a lot of information here. But again, we're talking how many days later? I mean, her hair could be different colors. It could be cut differently. Okay, we know that her documents are out there. What's going on with those documents? Okay, what are the reasons why? I can't think of any legal reason behind having those documents. Because right now, they're aiding and abetting a, quote, runaway. So even if they are doing that, they are still aiding and abetting a runaway, which I have a very hard time believing that we're dealing with a runaway to begin with in this case. But I'll give them that benefit. Rosario, exactly, Rosario. Okay, those channels that just talk about certain people. Okay, guys, pick these cases up. Help us. Help us you don't have to focus on the case. None of us are saying focus on the case and do every video about them. But let's share, because as a community, we speak for these people. They can't speak for themselves right now. They need us to speak for them. And my biggest concern, as I mentioned already, is that this may be just one of many teenagers. How many other teenagers have they spoken to? I mean, how many other teenagers has this unknown woman picked up in the middle of the night? And no one even realized and put things together. There's a major potential of things going on here that need to be stopped. We keep saying that as a community, we're stopping these things. We need to keep working towards it. And so, yeah, sorry, I know usually I don't get into the assumption bit, but the assumption behind these are what really worries me in these cases. And because it could be affecting so many people so quickly. And all. So let's see what we can do, gang. I'm going to be sharing her poster and her Instagram poster. There are other posters out there also. Rad put together a poster. There's a bunch of different posters that can be used. Go and share this video out. Go to Sleuth Mom. If you don't mind sharing the link to your video from the other day, from yesterday, share those videos out. Hit the thumbs up on every one of these. Okay, download the picture. Join my Discord so you can get these, or become a member over at Sleuth Moms. And okay, I'll be sharing the posters there also. But share these posters out. Let's be a voice for these people who don't have a voice. Any one of us, one second. So let me just share Discord out in chat real quick. Every one of us knows what it's like to yell at the top of our lungs. Think about it. Last time you went to a football game or a concert or something like that, you were yelling. You were yelling at the top of your lungs, okay? And realize what that does to your body. Think about the next day you wake up, you're exhausted. Your voice is scratchy, okay? This family may not be yelling in that way, but it's affecting their body the same way. Okay, they're going to keep yelling. Even when they have no voice left, they're going to yell. But you know what? We can make that yelling louder for them. Sleuth Mom just said, I will be live tomorrow to talk about everything the family spoke with you about. Thank you. So please go over to Sleuth's channel. Okay, I think I have her in here. Let's find out if I do. I do not know if I do or not. If not, Sleuth, please pop it in. I don't know if I set up the exclamation point things yet in Battissimo. Looks like I did not. And also, but please go over to Sleuth, check that out, because gang, this is a missing child that needs our help. She needs us to be their voice. Okay, there could be many others connected to this case right now that need our voice, and we need to help them out with this. So, as the poster says, she went missing on the 22nd, Spring Valley, California, so somewhere down south. Okay, Southern California, 15 years old. Thank you, Sleuth. She is 5'4" and 160 pounds. Had faded dark green hair at the time that she disappeared, but as I mentioned, people can change the color of their hair very easily, especially when you're light-haired to begin with. Okay, she has hazel eyes, gorgeous hazel eyes. Every picture I came across her, gorgeous hazel eyes. Alena goes by the name Gracie, so we may be seeing either name being used. Alena, Gracie. She was last seen wearing a navy blue JROTC sweater and Cookie Monster print shorts. She may also be wearing the black and white checkered floppy bucket hat that you see in the picture right there. That was one of her favorite hats, and she wore it all the time, and it is missing also. So it's very possible she has that. If you have information on her, you've seen her, you think you've seen her. Okay, maybe you have information that matches some of the story. Okay, a child of yours telling you that there was some lady saying, oh, I run a place for runaway children or something like that. Okay, these are important information for people to know. So please call the San Diego Sheriff's Department. I've got the phone number and the case number there. I'm going to say call the Polly Klaas Foundation, 800-587-4357. We need to be speaking up for these people. Definitely, Sleuth Girl. Definitely. I hated hearing about the other case that closed up. That unfortunately when he passed away, but I'd been watching Gracie's and there's just something there. Guys, we got to keep our eyes open. So that girl, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Amber, I agree. Be on the lookout, even if you live far away. If someone took her for trafficking, reasons they often take them to another state is so they're isolated. I'll be honest, one of the first things they do when they traffic people is they take their documentation. And it's one of the first things that's done. Okay, they take their driver's license or things like that. Okay, guys, keep an eye out. And please head over to Sleuths tomorrow. If you're not subbed already, please head over to hers now so you can hit that sub button. And join her tomorrow for her live. And also we can hear what the family has said to her. So you're welcome, Rosario. You're welcome. We have some amazing people out here. So thank all of you guys so much. I will share all this stuff out right now. I just realized I did not do it ahead of time. So I'll be doing that right now and posting. So, and wait, I just saw another important one from Amber. Yep, they will send a woman with them everywhere so they can't help. Yes, let me address that, gang. A lot of times you think, oh, well, that girl's not alone, so she can't be a trafficking victim. No. A lot of times with trafficking, they connect you with another woman. Okay. That woman's job is to keep the other from asking for help or being able to ask for help. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes around with this. Okay. So if your gut is saying something, mention it to someone. See if others feel it's something. Let police make that decision. Okay. Because right now we just need to speak up for this one. So thank y'all so much. You guys have a great night. I am going to give the dogs the rest of their treats because they've actually been behaving the last few minutes. And as I mentioned at the beginning, okay, thoughts and prayers out to Benny's family. Our prayers go out to you all right now, to his unborn child. Our thoughts go out to them as they come into the world, never getting to know their dad. So for everyone else, please help us keep the word out about Gracie. Love y'all. Aloha, mahalo, and talk later.